recording in progress. Ash Norton, how are you, bud?
How you going, Ash? The two Ashes. I'm good. It's
We're
been a
back
while.
together. Hey, I miss you out there. It's tough work without having you out there.
I know, I know. I have had a couple, I have done a few days work last week, which is very unusual because it's been like 18 months off of the full-time work.
Well, that's what it's about. It's trying to get some sort of retirement or at least slow down. you had a
Slow
fairly
down for the,
busy, you had a fairly busy run leading into it, didn't you?
yeah, certainly did. But I feel like it's slowing down to enter the next phase.
Well, that's good. That's it has to happen, doesn't it? It's we just can't keep going and going and going at this level and just think it's endless.
No, 100%.
It's only the
So
beer.
it's
You're still off the beer, are you?
Yeah, still off the beer. Another
Good boy.
year. I've had a couple of beers. I think when I was away, like I was away for nearly 29 days over in Indonesia there. One gin and two or three beers. That was my stint.
Oh, that's not bad. It keeps you in
Uh,
shape, doesn't it? Nice and
no,
tidy.
I think I feel better for it.
I think so. I think it's poison anyway. It's not there as a life hack. I think
No,
sometimes it can take the
I
stress out from time to time, but you can't rely on it like that either. So,
yeah.
how'd your Indonesia trip go? Where'd you go? You landed in Denpasar, I take it.
We landed in Denpasar and we were going for a friend of mine, Neil's brother, his Dean's 60th birthday. So that was the catalyst of the trip going over to Indonesia. That was the thing that was like, oh, shall we go? And like to me, it was like immediate, yep, let's go. And then it was like, oh, maybe we'll go for a week or so. And then Neil said, oh, I'm thinking of going for a month.
Yeah, right. Oh, well,
And
you
that
got
was,
3 weeks over there. That's pretty good, isn't it?
yeah, I reckon we got 28 days almost. So it was almost it was a month.
Well, we're about to leave on I think it's the 3rd of July. We got a wedding over there
Yeah,
in Bali, and we're off the island, but I can't tell you what the island's called because I keep forgetting what it is. But
you keep
yeah,
forgetting.
that's a month today. Or a month Friday we fly out, so it's just under a month, which is good.
And how long are you going for?
About 2.5 weeks. So
Hmm.
we're off the island for about as soon as we get there, we go off the island for I think it's a week. We're actually gone. And then we come back, get on the ferry, come back into Bali for the wedding, and they've got a place that's all. I think it's those fancy tents. Is it called? It's not
I don't,
camping, but it's a fancy
like
name for. I forget what it's
like
called.
glamping,
Glamping. That's it. So they've
something
got
like that.
one whole precinct with the whole wedding party and all the guests and all that. So I think we got 3 days in there. So we might have a day before the wedding, which is the buck show and the bridal show, then the wedding, and then I think the hangover day on the third day, and everyone starts to get off the island, go home, and then we'll go back to the island where we're staying again. So should be a lot of fun. There'll be quite a few people, a lot of family too. So it's
Yeah.
all on Mandy's side. It's Mandy's niece getting married.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
big shout out to Stacey and Chris. So they're getting excited now. It's becoming real. They're in their early 30s, I reckon. Just clicked over the
Hmm.
30 or thereabouts. So
No,
got a
well,
whole life to start,
excellent.
haven't they?
No, it's fun. I mean, we can certainly have a look at what there is to do while you're away because we had an adventure where we weren't exactly sure where we were going, and that was the fun of it. We knew we were going to the 60th,
Hmm.
and we knew that we were going to spend a little bit of time there with Dean and his daughter Samantha, and that was great. That was like 4 or 5 days we hung out with them, and then our second part of the adventure took off because we initially had an idea that we were going to go on like a 7 to 9 day wellness retreat as our catalyst
Yeah,
for
right. That was chucked in there as well.
that was very loose because we didn't actually have a anywhere that we got planned, but as it unfolded that did eventuate near the end.
Yeah,
But
good.
so
So that was off
we,
the island, or that was on the island,
yeah,
or
well, it was two things. We left Bali and then we went to a mate of ours, Greg, he's building a resort on Gili Meno.
oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Gili Meno's off Lombok Island.
Okay.
So Lombok, it's about just under 2 hour boat ride from Bali
Yep.
over to the island. So we went because I don't know. I mean, I didn't have a lot of understanding about Indonesia. That was my ignorance. I was
I've got
thinking
lots of
Bali
it.
was like more than what it was. I didn't realize Bali was just one island amongst 100 islands. So we went to multiple islands in Indonesia, and one of them was Bali. One of them was Lombok. Lombok. We had 2 days in Lombok, and then we had 10 days on Gili Meno, which is a very small island just off of Lombok. If you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't know it was there because it only takes an hour to walk around it. That was the best part. There's no cars, there's no roads. You can't hire a scooter. You can only own a scooter if you live there.
Is that right?
So you can ride a push bike or walk. That's your mode of transport, or jump on the back of someone else's scooter. So it's a real magical place to be. It's got the mix of new and old. Like Greg's Resort is like 5-star resort. It's not like a cheap thing. It's where a lot of famous people are coming from Indonesia, where they can just hide away and no one knows about them.
Is it half finished, or is it built now, or what is it?
No, it's fully functioning.
Oh,
There's
it's
at
going.
least
Okay.
there's probably 30 rooms or 30 villas, as you'd call it.
Yeah,
And
righto.
then it's expanding behind the scenes. Like there's quite a lot complete, but there's still more than half not completed yet.
How big
But
are the guests that are coming?
how big are the guests?
Like actors or
Yeah, actors.
business
There's
people, or
many actors from Indonesia. We had when we were there, we had a famous Indonesian singer that sells out stadiums. We had I don't know his name, but he was a famous singer. Get lots of Instagram people come that want to just be seen there because it's a place of interest. Can't tell you who the other famous people are, but there's a lot
doesn't
of
matter.
Indonesian at the
Oh, that
moment in
sounds good.
Jakarta.
Sounds really
A,
good.
a lot of fun. So we had 10 days there, and it was reconnecting with my old friend Greg, who I was long term. We actually were riding speedway together. That's how far back we go, and we were both planning to go to the UK. But I went to the UK when I was 18 and spent the next 10 years or so pursuing that dream. Whereas Greg, he was going to come with me and then he didn't. He stopped at almost at the last minute and then went into business. So he's put had a life of focus on business that's led him to Bali
Where he is
and
today.
and then to where he is today, to stand on the beach when there was nothing except palm trees and shrubs.
Yeah, right. He's
And
created.
I'm going to create a resort is just outstanding. So
Well, that's good. That's a
we stayed
good news
longer.
story, isn't it?
It is. That's why we stayed so long there, because it was a reconnection that we hadn't reconnected for years and years and years. So it was super good to reconnect and just hang out and then explore the options of, you know, could we buy some land on this island, or could we do something here? Like our minds, when you're on a journey of exploration, your mind opens up. So it's still the option. I'd love to, I'd love to have a smallish block of land, maybe 1,000 square meters, which is smallish. Could be even smaller, and build a holiday house there. That's an
What's the
idea.
what's the luxury of materials like it getting over there?
It's awkward, terrible.
I would think it'd be awkward compared to we can go
It's
down the hardware
difficult.
here and get
No,
anything
it's very
stainless
difficult.
steel, can't we?
Everything comes on a barge, and that was everything comes on a barge, and that was the fascinating thing watching them bring materials from the mainland over, and all the concrete for the footing it comes in bags,
Oh
and they
no.
just slice the bag open, empty it out into the big pile, and start mixing it in their wheelbarrow in their mixer.
So the cement
That's the
mixers
footing.
work 24/7 to try to keep the slump all the same. God.
I know. No, no, there's no,
How do they
no,
go on big pours? How do
just
they
keep
end up?
pouring.
Yeah, right. So they just keep mixing it
Yeah,
up, and
yeah.
then try to keep it wet enough to float the top off. Once you've got
No,
how
don't worry
deep are
about
they? How
don't
deep are
worry
they?
about you don't worry about floating the top off.
Yeah,
It's
righto.
floated off to a relatively good standard, I would say. When I'm eyeing, as you look along the concrete, Ash, when you're
Yep,
eyeing along, as you would know, as you've eyed along many a door sill in your time,
yep.
you can see the hump in the concrete. Well, there's quite a few speed humps in their finished concrete. It's not, but not awful, but
What are they? Solid build or do they
yeah,
timber build? Or
solid. He's learned
at
he's
least you don't
building
have
his
to
out of
worry about
steel.
whiteouts. I suppose that's one thing.
No, well, he is building out of steel, steel frames, steel roof with fibrous cement cladding mostly, and
Okay.
internal similar.
Yep.
And he makes his own joinery. He's got his own joint. He's built a joinery factory on the island, so he makes his own furniture and joinery. So he's got beautiful furniture, and he doesn't have to worry about that side of things.
What timbers are they got over there? Is it teak or what is it?
It'll be something like that because
Something hard and wary
it's a
sort of thing.
similar, yeah, it's like a teak color.
Do they get cyclones over there or?
Yeah, I mean, they did it. They get a massive downpour, and I don't know whether they've had a big cyclone on that island because the island doesn't look like it's been, anything's been uprooted there. But I think they'd be very vulnerable. They get flash flooding and enormous downpours, as I think a lot of Bali does, but not
It's
now.
so
Now's the season where it doesn't rain, so they're the
yeah.
opposite to us.
So righto. Okay. So they when they build, then obviously, I don't know what their building details are like. Have they got any provisions in there for cyclones or for
I
typhoons or whatever they? Is there any rods coming out of the concrete into the walls or?
don't know. Good question. I don't know. But what Greg's setup's very professional. He's got like a professional architect and following
Their
professional
code?
plans. Yeah, well, I guess to Bali code,
Sure.
whatever that is.
Well, cement, isn't it? Doesn't matter where you go in the world.
Yeah, no, cement, and I mean, there's a code, and they do work. They do work. They work on Bali time. They don't rush, but they just keep chugging away and get it done.
Yeah, right. I've got young Mandy's just walked in here. Whitey. Okay. I was going to get her to write something down, but it's all good. So, yeah. Well, what about the temperature, mate, up there? Is that aggressive?
Yeah, hot.
My son is living up. I think you've met Reese, didn't you? He's up
Yeah.
on the Sunshine Coast, and his father-in-law to be has put in a hot room,
Oh yeah.
so it's already sweaty up there anyway. And they've got obviously got this sauna, isn't it? Sauna.
Yeah, sauna.
So he's been going there 3 days a week to try to accustom his body to this this horrible
Acclimatize.
temperature coming. Oh,
I don't think you can. I don't think you can acclimatize. Maybe you can. I mean, we acclimatized definitely the longer we were there. But even the people that live there on the island, they like saying, "Oh God,
really? God, I'm going to
it's hot
struggle.
today," and it's 33, 34, high humidity. It's but it's
We've been to
paradise.
Townsville a few times. I haven't been as high as Darwin, and
Yeah.
but I've been up to Papua New Guinea, and
Hmm.
we did some of the islands up there in 1982 when they had the old Fair Star. We got on that one before they scrapped that off into Hong Kong. But I know it was fairly sultry then, and yeah, you sort of, as you said, you're never going to get used to it because it's just breathing in furnace, isn't it?
It's hot, isn't it? It's hot, and you don't have to
It's
pack
different sun.
like you don't need to take anything warm, anything for. You don't need to take many clothes, that's for sure. Like we packed about 3.5 kilos because we took a backpack for a month,
Yeah, righto.
and I had too many clothes.
So you didn't put in anything warm at all because it doesn't get cold,
Well,
or
I did. I took two things which I thought I might be useful, but I did. I mean, I did wear the jacket when we were riding the scooters because we did have some days where we hired scooters and we were buzzing around on them. That was handy in case it rained.
protection if you come off.
Yeah, a little bit of protection if I come off. I did take a pair of shoes, so I wore the shoes on the scooter the first time. Second time I wore my thongs like everyone else.
I suppose at the wedding I'm allowed to wear thongs. I suppose
Yeah, I don't know.
we've got a lot of just cotton. That
Yeah,
I got cotton pants, I got boxers, I've got cotton shirts. Uh, I think I might have one pair of just a nicer shoe that I can just slip on
yeah.
without a sock. I might have to do that. I might have to dress my feet up. That might be the worst
You
of it.
might have to. Yeah, you might have to. I mean, I found that yeah, I would take even less next time because I bought some thongs that were there. Some really nice thongs that were there. Bought some shorts and some t-shirts and some shirts. So definitely wouldn't take any
Yeah,
long
for a
pants.
month you'd have to rotate a few of them, wouldn't you? You'd have to
No,
wash
you
a
got to
few days.
rotate well. You got to be creative how you wash, especially if you've only got a certain number of underwear and socks. You got to keep washing and hanging them out and letting them dry and then rotating them that way. So
Any barley belly?
no barley belly, and that was
What was your
surprising.
secret there?
Got no idea. I mean, there were a few times where it was a bit loose, but it wasn't no barley belly. I don't know. We went. I don't know what it is. We ended up eating at all the restaurants when we had. We didn't drink the local water, but then there were times when I forgot and I got ice in my drink instead of asking for no ice, and
Yeah,
was
yeah.
still
I think
okay.
we're taking ice crates away with us, and then
Okay,
bottle water the ice cube. That look, that's the intent. Whether we,
that's the intent.
yeah. So whether Mandy's got my wife Mandy, she's got a habit of always rinsing water in the shower in her mouth and that, and probably
Yeah,
swallows most times in the shower. So she's got herself on report saying, "Hey, listen, Dale, you can't swallow the water, or recommended not to. So
yeah,
she'll have to be careful there because it's a dreadful habit she's got, which is all right here because it's all chlorinated water. But
it's different. Yeah, well, water's cheap. Water's not expensive, and it's worth it. But we stated when we after we I don't know if you want to keep talking about. Are you
of course we
interested?
can. Yeah, we
What
got
do you want
time.
to talk about, Ash?
Yeah, no, keep going. I'm happy to hear about the Bali because it's so close for me, and I've never
So,
been there. So
oh, I've
I've
never
been
been there.
no, I've been to Singapore. Like I've been up higher than that,
Yeah.
and but Bali was never on my list. It's really the fact that there's a wedding there that
Well,
it was a turn on switch. It's family. Yeah, yeah, we'll be there for sure. It's
well, if you can do your Bali thing, and then if you can get over to the island that I went to and have a look around, and there's three islands there. There's Gili T, Gili Meno, and Gili Air. They're very close to each other, and they're all about the same size. Two of them are developed a lot more than my friend has on his island.
so I've
Uh,
just got to ask for Greg, do I?
I can point you out. I can point you out. Uh, there's plenty of places to stay that you don't have to stay in the resort, but it's like you can just where he is. You just walk out on the sand, head straight to the beach with the snorkel on and the flippers, and you just swim with the turtles. It's like swimming
Is
with the
he at
turtles and the fish.
is he at Gili Meo? Is he or
He's at Gili Meno, yeah.
Minnow?
He's at Gili Meno. I'll send you the notes over.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. And then we went. So then we went back to the main island in Bali, and we stayed there for I think about the next 8 days. We had because then we did our wellness retreat, which was
Okay.
that was um that was where we ate really well, no alcohol. It was like a detox. It was a 4-day detox clinic. It's good fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, you would have felt fairly clean.
It was, and that was when you were talking about sauna and getting prepared for Bali. Well, at the hot stone spa at Ubud is they've got a banya, I think you say banya or banyan. It's a Russian sauna. So it's a specialized built sauna that they've had traditionally in Russia for years and years and years, where the temperature is absolutely excruciatingly hot. And if you're partial to a sauna, it's like it's not just a sauna, it's a 4 hour experience, not in the sauna, because that would be too much. But
Mm.
it's 10 minutes in the sauna, then 20 minutes recovery, and then another 10 minutes, and then 20 minutes recovery over the course of 4 hours. That was an unexpected surprise at this.
Did you cope with that all right?
Wow, we didn't know how we're going to do it. Like, because to start with, it's hotter than anything I've ever experienced. I felt like I was a roast chicken because there's a specialized sauna man inside. Like his job is to run the sauna inside the sauna.
Does he
So he's got
slap
all
you
this.
as well?
Yeah, yeah, we got slapped around with the leaves. They got these leaves that they slap on you on the back and on your legs and everywhere, and they are like spikes of fire. It's incredible what the body can
What's
handle.
what's it all about? What's the
What's it?
pain all about? What's it
Look,
extract? What
if
poison?
I'd prepped for it, I could have probably told you what it's all about. But they were telling me the guys that own it are from Russia and Mongolia, and they do it ritually every Thursday and Saturday all year round. And
Yeah. Oh,
it's about the body. It's about tricking the body that it's gonna that it's in fight flight mode in a way that it's getting too hot. It's going to die if it stays in this situation. But the body doesn't know that it's going to get out in 10 minutes. You know, but the body
okay.
doesn't know.
Yeah, right. So you're trying to push your body to a different stress level so that the body then can
It releases this. It releases all these. I don't even know what it
toxins or
releases. No, it does, what? Yeah, it's toxins. It pushes the toxins out, but it also it's like it renews the body, is what they say, because the body goes into a different state. I can't exactly explain what it is,
did you
but I
feel
trust.
cooler when you got out?
Oh, look, we did an ice plunge, so we'd be in the sauna and we're absolutely
After that,
cooking,
after God,
and we'd go straight in the ice bath for about 10 to 30 seconds, and
jeez.
then go and sit down and recover for the next 15 minutes, or and again get ready for the next round.
What was the shock of the cold water like coming with your body so hot and you just what do you just jump in?
Yeah, straight in.
Wow.
It's like a buzzing sensation. It's very, I was going to say it's very cool. It's very, but it is. It's definitely a buzzing, and it's nice to just sit and just close my eyes after for 10 minutes and just sort of enjoy the feeling of
Get
being
back into the hot place, please.
fully in my body until we get back into the hot again.
Wow,
That's
that's
worth doing,
incredible.
Ash. We had hydrogen therapy while we were there, which means we stick these tubes up our nose for an hour and we get hydrogen gas. That was a modern therapy that's meant to clean your blood.
Mm.
So I can't give you the science on that, but that was something that was
Did that give you
something.
any buzz or was it just
No, no,
very clean?
yeah. And we ate well, had 4 days there, and then uh, we had 4 days with them, and then actually one of the highlights was they're building these houses, Ash, and I think you would really enjoy this because they're building these villas that are very unique, where they're made out of hardwood, glass, concrete, and tin on the roof, and plus your internal fittings and fixtures. That's it. So, and it's a wellness house. So the concept, or the actual house that they're building, is for health and longevity, where inside the house, this is the hardest thing to believe. The house is run by a stabilized, the stabilizing temperature of the house is 23, 24 degrees all year round. It's a constant, doesn't change. You don't open any windows and you don't, I mean, obviously you've got to get in and out with a sliding door and that changes the temperature slightly, but the house stays at a very variable degree of around 23 and 24 set. And it's set by a 3-ton wall of ice inside the house that is cooled. Right, this is very unique because I had no idea about this concept until they told me it. But they said, "Do you want to come into the ice house?" So okay, yeah, we'll go into the ice house.
So you wouldn't even know it's there.
No, it's like a 3-ton. So it's thermostatically controlled by the solar. So the solar on the roof, the solar uses the electricity to cool the ice, and then the ice is regulated, and that regulates the temperature either up or down from 23, 24, 25 degrees, whatever you want. So what happens is I stayed in there. I got so interested in this house, they invited me to stay in there for one night as a guest. And I wasn't sure whether to have the covers on or the covers off. It's like because it's like the perfect temperature the whole time.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of having a sheet over you is just if you sleep nude was to cover your body up, wasn't it? I don't
I
think it
think
was
that's the idea.
there to
Yeah.
trap any heat.
No. So
How do they how do they push the air around? Is it just
it comes from the bottom. So near the bed, near both sides of the bed, there was just this gentle stream of air coming out, and
is it flued out or is it just vented by a hole or
like a normal air vent, like a normal air conditioner horizontal air vent down the bottom, and then up the top they had all air vents as well. So the air's constantly
moving?
recirculating and renewing itself because it's actually the house actually measures how much carbon dioxide levels are inside the house as well. So it maintains it like I'm sitting outside now. Now this is one thing I do know. Outside, um, the CO2 levels are between about say 450 parts per million. But when you live inside a house with a lot of people, CO2 levels go up because there's a lot more people in there.
There's
And
more people exhaling, yeah.
yeah, and there's an acceptable standard, which I didn't know, for living conditions. And it's around about 1,000, 1,200, 1,000 to 1,200, right? And but that house filters what the CO2 is depending on how many people are in there. And it keeps it constant at about 500.
And it just recirculates everything, or does it let
Yeah,
new air in and old air out?
good question. I reckon it filters.
Like,
It must,
what's their filter system to?
yeah, there must be a way of filtering the air in from the outside, but I think it does mainly recirculate from the inside and filter itself from the inside.
So I assume the more CO2 you get, the sleepier you get. You know, there's too much carbon dioxide in the air, which will
Yeah,
suppress. So people that snore and do all that sort of gear, if they're got sheets over their head and or close to there, and there's just all this carbon dioxide just sitting there, that it starts to make you more and more tired to breathe, doesn't it?
yeah.
You know what I
That
mean?
that probably sounds about right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's really interesting. That what are they running? 240 volt over there, or 230, or less than that, or what is
Um,
it? Hydro? How do they get their power? Does it come from underground, or is it they obviously got yards and yards of water, haven't they? So
I don't know how. That's a very good question.
obviously water somewhere is running their generators to create. something.
Solar. Well, this house just runs off solar. It's completely off the grid.
Mm,
It's a solar powered cooling system. I'll just look it up. Hang on a minute.
sure. That's really interesting. So they're totally off the grid altogether. It's just whatever sunshine is coming onto their roof with
Yes.
their solar gear, and that's what you get. Do they
And
have
you got a
battery
battery.
backup or like?
No, you got a solar and a battery, and they never have to go on the grid.
Wow.
But legally, they have to be connected to the grid in Bali. They can't be off the grid. So legally, they have to be connected to the grid. So I think his power bill is $1 a month to the grid.
So you still got to pay for power up to the house anyway. So
Yeah, you'd have to pay.
there's still a cable coming in.
Yeah, there's a cable coming in.
Wow.
So they call it phase change material, PCM. Using the integrated technology, we capture solar energy and store it in phase change material. So phase change material is a substance that releases slash absorbs large amounts of latent energy to provide useful heat cooling during a phase change between liquid to solid, latent phase transition temperature.
Mm.
And then it also has built-in humidity and air circulation. Sensors regulate the room humidity, RH level, and automatically adjust to desired settings.
Wow, what a different way, huh?
It's the future, Ash. Well, I
I
was so
think it
excited
is.
by it. I was so excited by it. I said to Tony, I want to find a way to build a house in Australia with this technology because the house is made out of hardwood and there's no window frames. Because when I was talking to them, they said, what's the most expensive part of a window? Now you could probably tell me. Is it the frame or the glass?
It's probably the glass.
Well, they said to me 60% of the cost of window is the frame.
So the aluminium,
Yeah.
obviously, they have to bring it in. They'd have to bring the glass in as well, though.
It depends how big the glass is as well. Like it's all relative. I mean, the bigger the window, maybe the glass would be more. The smaller the window, the frame would cost more.
Depends what it is, In it, it's
Depends what it is. But
apples to apples, or
well, they don't have any frame. They don't have any window frames to their glass. The whole house is glass. All the way around the house is all glass, and it's directly sikaflexed to the timber hardwood frame.
so there's no timber beading on it on as a rebate, or
No. Yeah, there'd be like how you
there'd
have
be a
a
rebate, and then they Sikaflex on the
you got to
inside of the rebate, and then push the glass up against
stick
it.
it to the glass and then they stick it to the concrete and that's their frame. They said they've eliminated 60% of the cost because they just use the frame of the timber and the timber hardwood they use for the house. They get it from Jakarta and it's been the all the sugar. Like he said, white ants will still eat hardwood because they're after the sugar. And if you can extract all the sugar and moisture out of the hardwood, they extract all the sugar and moisture out of the hardwood and then they infuse the hardwood with oil so that the hardwood is it never changes its shape throughout its life.
It's always wet.
So,
Like it's
hey,
always. I get what you mean. They're
yeah,
drawing moisture out, but they're putting something back into it, aren't they?
yeah, they're drawing all the moisture out, but what they're putting in stabilizes the wood. They can then rely on that wood as stable that they can stick the glass to it and it will never move.
What is it they're putting back into the timber?
Good question.
Is it a
He said
fat?
oil. He said oil to me.
So oil to me is that you even though it's dry,
It's
you're
still wet.
obviously putting something back into it,
Yeah.
like a fleece or something, or an oil. As you're saying, it's obviously keeping it stable, as you said. Obviously, the whatever the teak grains
It
or,
must
or
somehow, yeah. Somehow
what
they're keeping it stable, and they said that the glass is engineered to withstand a point 0.9 earthquake. So it's
0.9.
or 9, whatever it is on the a high
on the
high
Richter
Earth.
scale. So
Yeah,
it can go right up to 9.
yeah,
That's a big event. So we used to use when we had the timber mill here in Adelaide with the smelter that I work for. Um, we used to get all the Indonesian in, which was the seals. And if you ever got that in your finger, that used to sting more. There was something in the kapur that made it sting worse than a bit of pint. You know, just to get a
yeah,
splinter in your finger.
yeah,
That hurts. But
yeah,
if you
yeah.
got kapur in your finger, it really hurt. It's
It
almost
really
that you
hurt.
had to go down and get some injection to try to whatever was in the timber. But it was hard as well, being a
Yeah,
sill.
yeah.
But I think cedar's the only one that's a bit unique. That the cell structures are different to all the other woods because cedar doesn't rot. But that's a
No.
soft wood. We're going off track here a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I've
yeah,
used a
there's
lot of cedar.
obviously something there. So did you say it come from Jakarta, all the timber? Yeah,
Jakarta, yeah, all the wood comes from the factory in Jakarta, which
yeah,
is
right.
Indonesia.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So they
That's
that
where Guy Hamilton was. Remember
was
Mel
that.
Gibson in
Yeah,
the year of living dangerously?
yeah.
That
Was he
was
in
one.
Jakarta?
Yep. So yeah, no, all good. That's
So that
it's
was a highlight. And well, I knew it'd be interesting to talk to you about Windows. I don't know if you still think Windows is interesting Ash, after all this time.
well doors. It's mainly doors I do, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah. Once again, it is interesting to see. If you never got out of Adelaide and this is all you saw, the rest of the world's not living like we do.
No, that's right. I
You
would
go to
never have
Europe
even.
and you got triple glazing. You go to Vancouver or you go to America or England. There's hot water into the systems so that the pipes don't freeze up.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
we're hot and cold here, but we've got a wide ambient, but we don't get real cold. We just get real hot.
Yeah.
So the fact that all our water pipes and that are underground really stays the same anyway. The water's still cold when you put it on your back in the shower.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
But
It's different.
it is. I love going overseas to see, like you've done as well, how different it is, and then you see a way of living, and you go, wow, how cool's this?
I know.
They've got an ice wall that regulates the temperature of the house. It'll be good for your beers, wouldn't it?
It, well, probably you don't. Well, you wouldn't. You can't. You still have to put it in the fridge. You can't access the ice wall. It's hidden beautifully behind the wood. You don't even know it's there.
So it's even wet behind the timber.
Well, it's ice. It's frozen. It's zero
Yeah, yeah.
degrees. 30 years it stays frozen at 0 degrees. It's guaranteed 30 years. Just stays frozen.
Unbelievable. That's so good. So
I
different.
know. It's so different. That's why I was so excited by it, and I still am excited by it. There's none here in Australia. They're about to build something in a warehouse in the UAE whenever they can get to the UAE
You
with the
wouldn't
war.
you wouldn't be able to. Yeah, that's right. The war's disrupting quite a bit still, and
Mm.
I think that's still a little way off from finishing. But Adelaide, summertime, you get plenty of sun. How do you go in
Yeah.
winter?
Well, I asked the guy I asked the owner because I actually met the owner of the Sun Ice Energy, and he said Adelaide would be no problem. He knows the temperatures in Australia. He's had discussions to try and get it into Australia. He hasn't got it here yet, so there's an opportunity there. Uh,
You're the
but it's
man.
not a simple opportunity because it requires a whole infrastructure to support it. Because there's no technicians here, there's no engineers here, there's no maintenance here. So it's a new technology can't just turn up.
It's old technology for them, though.
No, this is new.
All right. So
This is
it's
brand new. This is
where's it
cutting
come
edge.
from? Does it come from Japan or China or where's it come from?
Um, I think it's France.
Oh, France.
Yeah,
Oh
I
well,
think it's I think it's France. If I let me have a look.
they might be able to bring it in on the submarines we're buying from them. Might be able to bring them down on the way through. Mm.
It doesn't say where, but they were. their first build was January 2023. First off-grid villa was December 2023 in Bali.
So
First
three
ice
years,
skating ring is
two.
November 2023 in Singapore. First building November 2025 Shanghai, China, and they're halfway building 18 villas in December 2025 Bali.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
it
amazing, isn't it? That's only
it's the
brand new. Like that's only 2.5 years old, really.
yeah, it's 20 I stepped into the future where we will live in our house that keeps us well, keeps us healthy by the oxygen that we breathe as a constant, and it will continually be like what he said is if you can live in an environment that is 450 parts per million and it regulates the CO2 levels, you're basically living in a wellness hub all
Automatically without doing anything else, just
all
breathing.
night, all night. Because what they said was that we didn't know. We only got to know the Russians and we only got to I call them the Russians, but I should say we only got to know the owners when when we did the sauna because they were all doing the sauna with us. And we Neil and I, who I went with, we saw it out to the end. We did the 6 sessions, so we were like, "That's hardcore," you know. They only came in at session 3 because they were like, the first 2 sessions are warming you up for the next 4.
Yeah, right.
So they came in at session 3, and we'd already done 2, so we stayed the whole night. And then the next day, we'd started talking to them, and they recognised us because we were part of we had cred, we had sauna cred.
You'd been slapped.
We had sauna cred, so we started to talk to them, and then we got to understand a little bit about this technology. And he was saying that if we'd have timed it, they're building a wellness hub. It's not They could have done it, but we had to leave the next day where they're going to take the blood as you book in. They'll
I'll
take the
check it
blood,
on the way out again.
they'll take the blood and put it under a microscope, and they will show you in an hour of oxygen therapy how your blood goes from being elongated and sort of blobbing along to perfectly round as it should be blood vessels.
Unreal.
And that's what it would be like living in the house 24/7. It's just so cool. I stepped into the future.
Ash, it's time to go to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave the house anymore.
That's right.
There must be quite a lot of pollutants out there at the
Oh
moment,
my
anyway.
God. I definitely took I bought a mask while I was there while I was on the back of a scooter. I was
For
definitely
the,
wearing
for
my mask.
for those that have come in late, Ash Norton is a carpenter by trade, general builder. So obviously on the trip to Bali, you've seen another way of doing things
I
that's
know.
better for the planet and better for yourself, obviously. So isn't that
I know.
it's so amazing, isn't it? Just these little tweaks,
The
that
things you do.
make your blood globules round instead of elongated.
That's the future. We're looking at
Wow.
what's possible nowadays and like you say, going on the adventure, we wouldn't have been we had the wellness retreat and then we went up north, which is a 2.5 hour drive to the dolphins, swimming with the dolphins, Ash. And if we didn't meet a guy in, it's like a Taco Bell place in um,
That's
Kuta.
very, very American. Yep.
If we didn't start chatting to the guy and asked him, where do you reckon we should go? We're in Bali. And he said, you have to go to Lavina. And, we like saying, where's Lavina? And he's saying, it's up the top. It's 2.5 hours away, but it's worth it because not that many people go up there. And you
Is it
can
on
swim
the is it on the Chinese side of the island or the Australian side? Is it in
yeah,
the
the other side, up the top. So that would be I don't know, whatever that is, up the top left of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bali.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get in a cab for $50 and you can be there in 2.5 hours and you can swim with the dolphins.
You and I both love architecture. Here's one for you. I'm looking forward to landing in Denpasar to see the airport. I've seen a few
Uh-huh.
photos of the old building, and I
Yeah.
believe it's been upgraded to quite a modern facility on the inside that a lot of it you can do online now, and you sort of have reduced the amount of stop time in the airports, landing,
Hmm.
getting out the plane, going through customs and everything else. But as looking at it from a architectural side, did you love the old terminal, or
I
did you
can't
think
remember.
no, didn't see it, or
I
didn't?
can't remember. I thought that I only remembered this terminal. I thought it was so smooth, and I wish all terminals were like this. I mean, it's relative to how many people are coming in, but it was quite easy. I was It was quite easy. I was supposed to get my visa and I mucked it up. I didn't do my visa properly and I didn't even have a visa when I landed.
Your papers
But
appear to not be in order, Mr.
it
Norton.
was like I only did my one part of the visa and it's like, oh, no problem. Just pay 40 something bucks and go through there.
It's amazing how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's all over the world, though. It doesn't matter what culture it is. There's always
No,
a payoff somewhere.
it was very easy to get in and out.
Wow, how incredible! What else jumped out? One more thing that jumped out while you were there: the dolphins. We did just touch base on that one.
Yeah.
Was that therapeutic? Was it amazing to see these mammals that are just so
Well,
intelligent? And did they
what?
mingle with you? Did they come up and nestle your legs, or?
No. It's out in the ocean. We're out
Oh,
in the
so
ocean.
these are just general,
These are wild.
yeah, wild
These are
dolphins.
wild dolphins out in the ocean, and then you go out there and you find them. It took an hour for us. He knew where he was going, our driver or our boat driver. He took us to a place where he knew he'd find them. And when we found them, you kind of sneak up on them. You got to sneak up on them, and then because they're just doing their thing, and he's very respectful to them doing their thing. But they they go through the water, and then at some point they must have enough air that then they go down. They don't just keep going along the top all the time. They go down. As soon as you go down, he guns it behind him, and then he gets you to jump out, and you jump out with your snorkels on, and you hang on, and you're basically swimming next to him and
So
you can watch him.
they're just on the return up to the surface once they're exhausted their oxygen,
No, well, yeah,
or do
that's it. And
they notice that hey, there's some humans up there in the water? Let's go and have a look. Or
no. They're just doing their thing. They're just being dolphins in the wild, and they're swimming in pairs. They're swimming upside down. They're playing games, and we got to hang on because they're moving, and we got to stay with them.
so, what are you paddling? Or
No, I'm holding on like a ski
oh, you're
rope.
onto
So
the side of the boat somehow.
I'm
Or
on the side of the boat, holding onto a ski rope with my snorkel on and my goggles,
God,
and and if you're lucky enough and you're close enough, they're like within like 6 feet away, but then they dive down and then you can lose them and you maybe can see them and then they've gone. And then he'll either try and find which way they've gone or you can point, they've gone that way and he'll go find
is
them.
it spooky, or you're comfortable with it, or
Oh, no, it's amazing because you're on the dolphin hunt.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing? I did
Lifetime.
a
Once
I
in a
went on a
lifetime. If it wasn't on my bucket list, it should have been.
I went on a Chinese jet fighter years ago for my 40th. Mandy, I wasn't a good flyer back then, and she thought it might be nice if I go for a flight on a Chinese
Yeah.
fighter over Galway.
Oh,
So I
really?
went with Mandy's brother, Scotty, and we ended up, one went over the lakes at Menengi, and I went out on the ocean side. And was I scared? My mouth dried up instantly, once
Did
we
it?
took off. We had a full parachute on, and, these planes take off side by side, and they
Well,
say, hey, Captain Ash, we're going to do a few tricks for you in a minute. And so he said, we'll take you up. I think we operated between 3 and 10,000 feet, something like that.
okay.
So you had full parachute on and all that sort of gear, and
That's a bit
off we
different to
went.
me.
So off we flew. He said, I'm going to take you up until the plane stalls, and then I'm going to roll it over. And I said, let's go for it. So, off we went. The propeller stopped, and here we go, Whitey. We're going to roll you over. And then you were going straight down, and you could see the Kuyong and all that down there. And it was just, I'm trying to
Amazing.
simulate this state of mind where There was no fear.
Yeah.
It's the closest thing to God I'd ever done in my life. There
Wow.
was absolutely, it was a spiritual thing. I
Yeah.
was gobsmacked when I got off because when I saw Scotty afterwards, I said, "What do you think of that?" And he said, "I can't really put a finger on it." I said, "I think it's close to Jesus." Was the most religious I'd ever been in my life. That not the fact that we'd made it without crashing but it was almost surreal. The fact that
Yeah.
you were up and then all of a sudden you went down and you could
Wow.
see the ground coming and, we'd pull into this 6G, turn down the bottom where your body mass then was 5, 6 times your own weight and you
Yeah.
could feel everything starting to black out on you. And that was amazing. It was an amazing thing to do. Would I do it again?
Yeah.
I probably would, but
Yeah.
there's not a need that I
Do you
need to.
need to? Yeah.
But it was certainly a different state of mind where you didn't have fear. There was no fear. There wasn't, it was almost, that was removed from the scene. It was this
Mm.
different, almost a different consciousness that you were almost out of body almost. It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was, to put a figure on it, as I said, I just think it's as close to spiritual as I can get. I think we were right on the line.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any other words to sort of cover it.
No, well, to my
Anyway,
friend Neil, who went with me, he said it's the coolest thing he's ever done his whole life.
wow.
So, and I thought, and I mean, I've done a lot of cool things, so I didn't put it in that category, but it was,
Well, you've been a speed demon most of your
I've,
life, haven't
I've
you?
done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I remember the fastest Indian saying that some people that do those speeds on the bikes live their life in 3 minutes compared to 50 years for somebody that
This
just.
could be, yeah.
What about
So that's
tsunamis? Was a tsunami ever a concern, or
no,
you're on the
never even.
inside anyway? Probably it was a lot rather than be
Yeah,
on
no.
the
Well,
Indian's ocean side, I suppose.
after we were on the up at Lavina with the dolphins, well, we came back down to the center of Bali, and that's what you're saying by on the inside, and that was where we played golf at the at
That's what
the
I need to talk to you about in a minute too.
yes, we do.
We
What
can
was the
finish
golf
off with
course?
your golf.
Handara Golf Course. We played at the Handara Golf Course. So when you talked about tsunami, I remembered the golf, and it was bucketing down like, and we had a downpour in Adelaide yesterday. It was a bit like that. It was an absolute downpour for hours when we got there, and it was course was flooded, the greens were flooded, and
Did
they
you
were
board it or
reassuring
keep playing or?
that no, we got there about 5 o'clock at night, and we were playing at 7:30 in the morning,
Okay.
and they were reassuring us that mostly
It
it doesn't
drains
rain
away
till
fairly quickly, does it?
mostly it doesn't rain until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All the mornings are fine, and
Okay. And then you
to their
get that
word,
heat build up and then it turns into
no,
obviously.
there wasn't a lot of heat, Ash, because we were in the mountains playing golf.
Okay. Yeah,
It was
righto.
quite cool. It was quite cool, but it was lush, absolutely amazing. You would absolutely love it. So that's another thing you put on your list. You can hire the clubs. Uh, you can have a hit a golf round there. You get a. Well, I mean, I've never had a caddy before, so it's the first time I've
Oh,
actually had a
yeah, they
proper
can.
caddy.
Did you have to walk it or did you have a buggy?
No, we had a buggy we both had a buggy and a caddy each in our buggy.
So you sat there with the caddy the whole way through. So
Yeah, the
he
caddy
was
was helping
driving
us.
for you. Was he
I was,
selecting your clubs for you
yeah, the
or?
whole thing, helping me read the greens, picking whether it was a 5 iron or a 6 iron, or you know, telling me which side to miss the fairway on, and because
Oh
they know the
man.
course. It's great. Never had that before. I felt like a pro for a
So you
bit.
went round in 65, did you?
No, I think I did. I think I had 80, 87,
What's your
80,
handicap at the moment? What are you running?
10.
10's not bad. You're up at Mount Osman Golf
Mount
Course, yeah?
Osman, yeah. Mount Osman, yeah.
That's quite hilly, isn't it?
It is very hilly. You're always
Do,
on a bit of a slope.
do you
Not
have much
always, but
fade on all the fairways? Do they all sort of run right to left as you go around the top or?
the first one runs right to left. The second one runs a little bit left to right. third, the third's a little bit left to right. Fourth is flat because par three. Fifth one's a bit left to right unless you hit it in the right spot. Fifth one's right, left to right.
So you're
Seventh
going
is.
through this in your sleeve at night time?
I love it. I do love the course. I must admit, I'm never bored with it. I look forward to playing it every time. There's nothing. It's such every hole is a challenge, but that as is golf.
I've got Matt McMahon he's playing golf today up at Tetra Gully there. He was
Oh yeah.
playing with you while you were in the finals as well. So he's got, I think it was 36 holes today he had to do. So he must be getting close to the end, I reckon. I
He must be
haven't had
doing, what
it.
does he do on a club champs or something?
Yeah, yeah,
36
yeah,
holes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think he's won it 5 times.
Oh, really?
So he's off even, like he's zero.
Even's handy, yeah.
But I
We
think
dare to
there's
dream that even would be something we could play off, Ash.
oh, I no, I couldn't get there. I just haven't got the discipline for 18 to be. No, no. I play with a guy called Peter Renfrey, and he's off. I think he might be off 15 or 16, something like that. And he's got a great drive. You know, he's just effortless and smack at 230 meters, and it's just
Yeah,
beautiful to watch. Um, So I only play in that format where it's pairs, like we try to beat the course, not each other.
yeah,
So, you might have 6 tees each you got to do to try to keep it fair for the
yeah,
for the course, because the course deserves something back as well. But
yeah.
um, I think last time we played at Penfield. We went round there twice in the last month or maybe 5 weeks ago, and I think we got a 77. I reckon we were five over.
Mhm.
But we had a couple of birdies, which was good, and then we had
That,
three double bogeys that handed it all back. But
yeah,
it's if you can get rid of those double bogeys, you've got a good chance of being
yeah,
18 over. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Which is okay in my eyes.
That's okay. Yeah.
But to try to beat the course, or go even with the course, if you can go around 71, 72 as a hack mob, I reckon that's pretty good.
That'd be amazing.
But
Yeah.
it's addictive, isn't it? What are you playing a couple of days a week?
That's the aim. Yeah. I haven't been lately because I've been away and I've just come back. I did play 3 days in a week. Played once last week, but
How many games of golf did you get in Bali?
just the one.
Just the one,
Yeah,
and
just
it
the
was
one.
excellent.
It was absolutely so much fun. Seriously,
Are
it
the
was.
fairways just beautifully lush?
They're like a rainforest grass. It's not like
Sparse?
grass that we would know it. No,
Okay.
it's more like a matted kind of a
Yeah, I think I know what you
growth
mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
grass.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it was definitely damp. Like it was damp
So you
underfoot,
didn't
but not
top the ball much. You got
not
underneath it
squishy.
quite nicely
Yeah, you could get under it a few times, but like you the clubs were quite old.
for the
The driver
rentals.
was Yeah, the
Were
driver
they
was
all the
dodgy.
same, or were they a bits of
No, we had to try and mix and match some kind of a set that looked resembled a set. My driver was definitely 30 years old or whatever. That had been hacked around for forever, but it went all right.
sounds good? Ash, I
That
want
was good.
to, I sort of want to, we'll have to get going after an hour-ish
Yeah,
shortly, but
sure.
I was looking at trying to finish with your build on Marian Road. That was a a big one. That was
Yeah.
a large build, and I think there might have been one and a bit that was done there on
Yeah, there
certain
was seven and
titles there.
three. There was 10 altogether. There was seven on one title and three on the other.
I tipped my cap even to undertake that task. I remember
Yes.
how well everything was set up there for us to come in there and put the doors in and fart around with glass and windows, whatever we had to do. But um, going into that job, was it scary coming into it? to think, okay, this is a big project. You know, I've got 10 houses really, and a duplex type setup where seven of them or whatever it was, the title you said before, are all 2 stories. They've all got you know carports and sliding
Yeah,
doors and of course, even I remember you saying of the last bit I've got to do is a driveway, and Adelaide soil is bad at the best of times.
yeah,
Just probably to go into the initial question
sure.
was it daunting to undertake the task, or were you at chi with it that
I
you had
think
all your ducks in a row and you was the right time to go through and do it?
I think yeah, well it's a build up. It's a build up of confidence because I'd been involved with some developments, smaller developments as small time investors and helping supervising them. And I did it with my partner, like Tanya and I joined in with Nathan. So we had three of us involved. And because I reckon we all shared the fear load in a way, because there's a lot of due diligence that has to be done prior to getting the numbers and looking at the numbers and the assessment of, like there's a lot, like there's 6 to 12 months of planning
Mm.
um, went into it, and that gives the confidence. And I had faith in who I was doing it with, and I trusted that the numbers would work. And then I just had to carry the load of the build myself. So that and I didn't have to. Fortunately, I didn't have to worry about the back end, like paying the accounts and have all that.
Yeah,
That was all.
yeah, you'd be a nutsack if you were doing that as well, wouldn't you? Like
So I think
just
on my own, yeah. So on my own, I'd probably be more of a nervous wreck getting the numbers right if I the didn't have the
the people around you.
confidence of the people around me,
Yeah,
and
that's
trusting that those numbers were adding up, because you know and just prior experience of how much things cost, and so that you can nail down, that's how much that cost last time, and we're doing the same thing with a slight twist this time, allowing for prices to go up. And then all of that gives confidence, whereas starting, without any of that information, it'd be very daunting.
I think the thing that the principles that I carry now. I've known you for probably 4 decades now. I'd
A
say
long time.
over our time together. And I think the attraction to you and I at the very beginning was the fact that we had an attraction to trying to do the right thing, doing the right thing, and making sure you could get
Yeah,
your part of it done the best way you could, and then have a bit of a joke around afterwards. It was we really did hit it off
yeah,
early,
true.
like way back, and that then opened up a really great relationship for the 4 decades or so that we've been working together. And there's three principles I use: plumb, level, and square. If you if you operate just with those three ideals, they tick each other's box as you go through. Plumb, level, square.
I like
As
that.
long as
Yeah,
you work inside that bracket, nobody can push you around. People can yell at you. People can say, "Boo, boo." It doesn't matter, mate. If it's plumb, level, and square, I don't have to talk to you at all. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter
yeah,
what anyone else says, and that's how I generally go into battle on. There's 50 builders I look after in Adelaide, so you come up against a whole different pyramid
yeah,
of
yeah,
of
yeah. You
people,
would.
and I really started this last job in 2020, 2000, sorry, with this um, department that I'm with now, and I've always used those three things to get me in, through, and out the other side, because as long as you're doing those three things, you take away the ability of catastrophe. Catastrophe is the hump in the floor, like we're talking in Bali,
Yeah.
where the jams aren't lifted up to make it level. Doesn't matter that there's a hump in the floor. Just identify that it's there. So, you say, Vinny, put 5 mil block under there, 5 mil block under there, and let's bring it back up to nice and level. Then you can try to
Yeah.
square everything up, fix one spot off, and then try to square your frames up. So it doesn't matter if they're 6 metres by 3 metres, and we're now
No.
grafting aluminium together. So we're at three. We've exceeded 3 metres now. We've exceeded 8 metres. That's pretty big,
That's
especially with the
huge.
Capital series. That if you got a
Yeah.
frame that's 250 wide, they still only give me two people. They don't give me any more people to lift it. But slowly, I've got Sunny Lerm. You probably remember Sunny Lerm.
Yeah, I know Sonny, yeah.
So the brotherhood there's going quite well. He's got Terry, his brother-in-law, Barchi working for him. So he's another guy that's a good, strong, very disciplined. Goes by, plumb, level, square. Does dot, I's, cross, T's. Do what you should be doing. Doesn't take any longer than doing it the wrong way. The wrong way, you'd end up doing things 8 times.
I think my dad taught me to always look after the next person. And that's a good principle. I'll stick with that. You
Think of
always
who's coming behind you.
think of who's coming behind me. That's that's what you're saying. If you get
I
it plumb level and square, then the person behind you is going to have not going to have a problem.
exactly. Well, the industry gives you plus or minus 2 mil. So if
Of
you can
course.
play within 1 to 2 mil with your dumpy, and you're
Yeah.
not going to fall into catastrophe. Catastrophes are pulling walls out because fly screens don't fit.
Yeah. We've all had that.
Allowing for deflection. If you know the rule of deflection, 1/360 is deflection. So as long as you know that, divide that into your openings. Don't leave 10 mil for gyprock if you've got uh, something that's going to deflect greater than 10 mil. This
Yeah.
is where I think the domestic industry has a whole load of issues, because you'll still get Frank from Gyprock Australia, and he wants to stuff 10 mil in where there's not 10 mil.
Yeah.
And you see it all over. As I said, as the pyramid gets lower and lower, you just put more armor on.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'll tell you just another story. I did a job for a local builder, but in respect, they're down towards the ground more, and
Down lower. Yeah.
I went to use the toilet. I needed a pee, and I went in there, and it was stacked up. Must have been 400 mil stacked on top of the seat, and everything was mashed up to the top of the seat. So they,
Oh dear.
instead of pumping it from once the flap in the toilet's full, they let it come up to the pan, and then they just started creating bricks after that. They
I've
were
seen
doing.
that. Yeah, I've seen that's
So I said to the bloke, I said, "Hey, look in your toilet," and he goes, "What's wrong?" I tidied that up quite well, and he said, "Oh, how about I get a pump for you?" I said, "Don't get a pump for me. Get a pump for everybody. Get a
yeah.
pump. Why have we gone past it by 400 mil minus the trap drop?
Yeah.
So you're already 700 mil, 600 mil lower, higher than where you should be. I'll tell you what, I'll clean it up for you. All righto, mate. No worries." So I said, "We like to drink beer in Australia, and if we had to go number twos, mate, there's no way I'd be using that thing. So
No way. It's
I'd
a
fall
it's
off
a
and break my arm.
the site toilet is a whole experience. It's nice to it's embarrassing to be told by one of your tradesmen that you've dropped the ball. As the site supervisor when I was supervising, and I dropped the ball where I hadn't noticed the toilet for a few days, and it doesn't take long to and
I
I
used to
always
go
like
in
to
because we're glazing, as you know. We always
yeah,
got soapy water spray bottles everywhere. So
yeah.
every now and then, if it was a better builder, I'd go in there with my spray bottle and
Give it a bit of a tidy up for him.
throw a couple of buckets of water in there, 40
Yeah,
litres of water, and doesn't matter that everything's wet, at least it's clean.
I know. Yeah, I
And
used to do that a lot with my toilet. I used to throw buckets of water into the whole thing and just let the whole thing dry out. It was beautiful again.
There's a lot of toilets I've cleaned over my time, just for
Yeah,
the next person. It's
it's a
they
thing.
they all run out of water, and
You
you can
haven't
hear
got
the
a
thing.
hose. No hose. No one's organised with it. Who
No
would
one
have thought
cares,
we were
mate.
talking about refilling toilets, Ash? But it is a thing.
We did get there, didn't we? But that's all right. That's what it's about. That's part of the building trade
It's
as well.
part of it.
Is that once again, plumb level square, mate.
That's
You
what you
do the
need.
same with the toilets. Just follow the
It's the
same
same
rule.
thing.
Yeah, but it's yeah. Just going back to Marian Road there. It doesn't matter what number we talk about down there, but that was a good job for you. You practice what you preach. You
Yep.
honoured the task, and people were now living in your house. How wonderful!
I know. It's amazing.
Good feeling.
It's absolutely amazing to meet the people that were so happy to move in and loved it so much. And we met quite a few of them, not directly, um, all of them, but directly. I think I know most of them directly through like after, because we didn't quite finish them all at the same time. So some people moved in while we were still finishing others. So as they moved in, we got to know them and talk to them, and that's such a good thing. Like to stand by our product and be working side by side with people living there. I'm not definitely so proud to know that there's nothing that I have to worry about. And there's always problems, and we had problems that we didn't even know we were going to have problems. That you just overcome them
Yeah, that's
with
right.
building.
You just got to work through it, don't you? Like,
You
just
work
stay
through it and
calm and just try
do the
to.
right thing. Just do the right thing.
Mm. Well, it's certainly that was one of the great apexes of that time of your life. It's as a friend, it's very good to see that not only did you start it, you finished it, you've come out the other side. You look and sound great. I think that I need to go and play more golf.
Maybe a bit more
I gave up
golf.
baseball and now I'm working Saturdays again. So, it's funny how it goes. But yeah, I'm nearly 60 now. So we're starting to getting a bit closer to the end now.
Getting closer.
But Sonny said, I don't want you to go too soon, Ash, man. I said, I'll be around for a little bit yet. So,
A little bit longer yet.
but no, it's a pleasure working with you for all those years as well, and to have a
Absolutely.
friendship that we've got's pretty important. And at any time, that any of us can call on the brotherhood there, and if help's needed somewhere, everyone puts their hand up. Yeah, of course we can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the best way of doing it. Ash Norton, I better wind this one up, mate. I don't want to
Appreciate
take
you,
up
Ash.
all of your Sunday either, but thanks for your time. I think
You're
it's
welcome.
so good to eventually catch up. I know how busy everything is, and everything's sort of daily. It's hard to. Maybe we need 25 hours in a day, but I'm sure we'd still use it poorly at
We'd still
times.
use it to do something. All right, Ash. It's
So
been
thank you very
wonderful.
much.
Thank you very much.
We can have another chat down the road again, and
We'll have a
we
chat
got
soon.
we got the White Stingray Classic coming up soon too.
I'm
So
looking forward to the White Stingray Classic because that'll be my inaugural. That'll be my first tit out,
yes,
won't it?
yeah, absolutely. I'll get some shirts made up. I generally get a handful of shirts made up, and we all just walk around in the same
Bit of
sort
fun.
of gear, bit of fun. So thank you very much.
Thank
Enjoy
you,
what's
Ash.
left of your Sunday, and
All right. Appreciate you.
great for your story. And I'll let you know how I go in Bali, but
Okay.
I
We'll
think I'm
chat
going to
soon.
sweat badly.
We'll have a chat about the more detailed places where you can go.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
Ash. See ya.
See you, bloke.
Bye.
Bye.